The truth behind Gaddafi's fall. Who really wanted him dead? Let's find out. Before Muammar Gaddafi came to power, Libya was a land of struggle, a forgotten kingdom drowning in poverty. After gaining independence in 1951, Libya was ruled by King Idris I, a monarch backed by Western powers. But despite the country's rich oil reserves, the people lived in poverty and hardship. The country was one of the poorest in the world. Education was a luxury, and most people couldn't read or write. Foreign companies controlled Libya's oil, while the people saw little benefit. Western military bases were stationed in Libya, making it a pawn in global politics. The government, led by King Idris, was seen as weak, corrupt, and disconnected from the struggles of everyday Libyans. The frustration grew, and in 1969, a revolution was brewing. Then came a young army officer, a man named Muammar Gaddafi. On September 1, 1969, while King Idris was away for medical treatment, Gaddafi and his group of military officers launched a bloodless coup. The monarchy was abolished, and Libya was declared a republic. For many Libyans, Gaddafi's rise brought hope. He promised to take back Libya's wealth, remove foreign influence, and build a nation for the people. But what happened next would change the course of Libya's history forever. Want to know what happened after Gaddafi took power? Stay tuned and make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Muammar Gaddafi, the man who ruled Libya for over 40 years. A leader to some, a dictator to others. But in 2011, his reign came to a brutal end. The world was told that the Libyan people had risen against him. But was that the full story? Or was there a deeper plot, one involving powerful Western nations? What was Gaddafi's biggest threat? Let's find out. Gaddafi wasn't just a leader, he was a visionary. He had a plan that could have changed Africa forever. He wanted to introduce a gold-backed African currency, a new gold dinar that would free African nations from relying on the US dollar or the euro. And that made Western powers very, very nervous. Leaked emails later revealed that French President Nicolas Sarkozy saw Gaddafi's idea as a threat to Europe's economic control over Africa. If Libya succeeded, African nations wouldn't need to depend on Western banks anymore. The global balance of power would shift, and the West wasn't ready for that. The solid truth behind the war. It wasn't just about currency. Libya had one of Africa's largest oil reserves. And guess what? Gaddafi kept a tight grip on it. He refused to let Western companies take control. So, when protests against him began in 2011, Western powers saw an opportunity. Under the excuse of protecting Libyan civilians, NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organization, hope you know the goals and objective and the countries involved in NATO. If you want me to talk about it in my next video, share your thought on the comment section. Back to what we were saying. NATO launched a bombing campaign against Gaddafi's forces. But here's the strange part. The moment Gaddafi was killed, NATO immediately stopped their mission. It was never about saving Libyans. What do you think was the main purpose of NATO joining forces with the protesters? If you are thinking what I'm thinking, then you are right. It was never about saving the people of Libya but about eliminating Gaddafi. For years, Gaddafi fought to make Africa stronger. He funded the African Union, pushed for African-controlled banks, and called for economic freedom from the West. But to Western nations, that was dangerous. He was disrupting their influence over the continent, and that made him an enemy. But there was another reason why the West wanted Gaddafi gone. What do you think it is? Put your answer on the comment section, let's discuss. Back in 1986, the US bombed Libya, calling Gaddafi a mad dog. In 1988, Libya was blamed for the Lockerbie bombing, leading to years of sanctions. Even when Gaddafi later tried to make peace and ended his nuclear program, the West never truly trusted him. So, when protests broke out during the Arab Spring, the West saw its chance. With NATO's help, rebels overthrew Gaddafi, and on October 20, 2011, he was captured and killed in the streets of Sirte. And what happened after Gaddafi's death? Did Libya become a free democracy, like the West promised? No. Instead, Libya collapsed into chaos, civil war, terrorist groups, and human trafficking. Even today, the country is still struggling. So, ask yourself this. Was Gaddafi really removed because he was a brutal dictator? Or was he taken out because he threatened Western control over Africa? Drop your thought on the comment section. The truth may never be fully revealed. But one thing is certain, Gaddafi's fall wasn't just about Libya. It was about power, control, and who truly rules the world.